Judge and a high-ranking Atlanta police official are at the center of explosive allegations.
It involves sexual encounters inside the judge's chambers during work hours.
Judge had sex on at least 5 occasions over a 2-year period inside her chambers with a high-ranking police officer. Employees interviewed during the investigation described multiple incidents where they allegedly heard people having sex through the walls. One court clerk testified to hearing what was described as unsettling noises, kissing, and music coming from the judge's chambers.
Why should the everyday person care about these allegations?
That's some loud kissing, man. If people can hear you in other rooms, that's insane.
The American legal system depends on honesty and truthfulness.
This investigative report did not identify the judge or the officer, but multiple sources confirmed to Channel 2 that federal judge Eleanor Ross and Atlanta Police Deputy Chief Kelly Collier were the 2 accused. I reached out to Ross, but a representative responded with no comment. The chief judge has already issued Ross a private reprimand, and she agreed to write apology letters to her employees.
An apology letter? Interesting. Yeah, this is not a good look at all for a federal judge. And from my understanding, their role is a lifetime role. They'd have to be impeached, and it's not good at all. If I had to, I guess, just kind of put my 2 cents in on it, I would say it's going to be hard for a federal judge who is married, having an extramarital affair in her chamber for over 2 years, originally, because other, information shows that she originally lied about it. And that just, even though I don't agree with the gentleman who, when he was asked the question, why should people care about this, or what does this say to people? And he's like, oh, well, the court system, the justice system, it should be about honesty. And though it should be that way, we know it's not that way. We know there's a lot of greed and lies and deception going on through these systems. Come on now. And that's not me defending her. I think, there should be some sort of punishment and maybe even impeachment. I mean, I wouldn't want her judging my case. And I will say this, just because someone like this, like in her position, just because she's doing this doesn't mean that she can't oversee a case and judge it justly. But it is a double standard and some hypocrisy going on when you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing and lying about it, and it's outside of your marriage. Like, you do take a hit, like your credibility, your reputation, your name, the ability for you to rule and judge cases without, because we all have biases, but with confidence, like with people having confidence that you can, judge it correctly. It takes a hit. So, yeah, the bar is really low in terms of our leaders in our world, and it's showing itself a whole lot more. But again, if the people who were working for her could hear her, that's even more like shameful, because it's like she wasn't even hiding it. That's scary.
Imagine your boss got caught having an affair at work, lied about it during the investigation, admitted to it later, and still kept her job. That is basically the conversation happening around a federal judge right now. Federal! Now, before we get into the facts, let's talk about what kind of judge we're discussing. This ain't no local traffic court judge, no shade. This is a federal district court judge. And federal judges are appointed for life according to the United States Constitution. That means they don't have elections every few years, and they technically can't be fired by their supervisors. And to remove a federal judge requires impeachment by Congress. And that is rare. Incredibly rare. We're going to talk about the only time that happened in history. Now, according to the misconduct findings, the judge engaged in an extramarital relationship with a high-ranking law enforcement officer. Who was it? And they found that some of those encounters occurred.
It's all bad. A high-ranking law enforcement officer and a federal judge who can be trusted.
inside the chambers during business hours while court staff was in there listening. And oh yeah, the staff did report hearing noises, strange noises, killing noises from outside. Like I said before, the judge absolutely did deny the allegations, but she later admitted it. Now, after all this investigation, the committee decided not to seek stronger sanctions. Meaning they said, you fuck him, don't do it again. The judge had to formally apologize to those clerks. She absolutely got reprimanded in private. She agreed not to join any committees, certain committees, and she also agreed not to seek out or apply for any leadership roles. Now, some legal experts are saying that the punishment was appropriate, that she admitted to what she did and took corrective steps. Other legal professionals believe that you are responsible for evaluating certain credibility, honesty in the courtroom, and making false statements during an investigation.
That's the point I was making. Like, she has that authority, and that's the expectation, and she's doing this. The same thing with the officer.
Investigation should have resulted in stronger sanctions. The question isn't whether people approve of the affair. The bigger question is this: what level of misconduct should be enough to remove a federal judge from a lifetime position? And who gets to make that decision?
Yeah, it's all bad, man. And the problem is that she's a judge, and her position comes with a level of responsibility that calls for her to have her ducks in a row. And likewise with the high ranking officer. I haven't done any in-depth research on it, but I know that there's a lot going on. I don't know if he's going to be in his role, but his role isn't a lifetime role anyways. But it's like, you can't be out here with that type of authority, with that type of, role, being reckless. For me, asking people to be faithful, unfortunately, is a lot, but if you're going to be unfaithful, like, I don't understand why they wouldn't have gotten a hotel. Like, I don't know. But sometimes pride, arrogance, all that gets in the way. He was coming to her job, but maybe she couldn't get a hotel because she's married, so she had to go home, and maybe her husband had her location. So it's a lot of, variables involved. But at the end of the day, it's all bad. It's all bad. I don't know how this is going to end. I can't say whether the sanctions are fair or unfair because I don't know how they've judged other cases. I just know it looks bad. It looks very bad, and I feel bad for her husband, honestly. To find out, I wonder if the high-ranking officer was married. I don't know, but to find out, your wife is having an affair on you for 2 years, and the guy is coming up, handling business with her at the job. I mean, how can you trust again? I'm sure you can, but where do you start? Your wife has literally been cheating on you for 2 years at her job, as a judge in the chamber. And that's supposed to be like an area of, privacy. And I do want to say this. There was another judge who was, shot, and I think he eventually died because he was sleeping with an officer's underage daughter. It was something going on. So this behavior in chambers is not uncommon. So there's some indecency and debauchery going on in these court systems and these chambers, that is not spoken about as much. And she isn't the first one to be caught up in some mess. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Do y'all think the sanctions that she's been hit with are too harsh, or you think it's not harsh enough? Y'all let me know. And don't forget to connect with the brand online at www.there'shopebrand.com. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.